Hello guys, welcome back. So today's video is one that is seriously long time coming for me. I have been trying these products for so freaking long that I just don't even know what's what anymore. I just need to do this video and get it over and done with so I can move on. It is going to be basically reviewing and ranking Japanese drugstore oil cleansers. So I've got these 6 oil cleansers that I'm going to rank in my opinion from worst to best. They are all basically drugstore brands. You can purchase all of them in Japanese drugstores, maybe except MUJI because it's not really a brand that is sold in drugstores, but they are all around that 1,000 yen price mark. So they are definitely considered like a drugstore and a wallet friendly price. I will be looking at a lot of different variables, like from ingredients to price to effectiveness and all of that. So we're going to go into a lot of comparison, a lot of ranking and all the good stuff so you know exactly what can work for you. Today's contenders will be the Biore Perfect Oil. If you have followed me for a while, you have probably seen it before. The Hadalabo Gokujyun Oil Cleansing, the Lachesca Oil Cleansing, the MUJI Mild Oil Cleansing, the Rosette Rice Release Cleansing Oil, and lastly the Senka All Clear Oil. So let's just jump right in. Let's go.
First, we're going to talk about the price. Obviously, this is pretty straightforward. They have been listed in their recommended retail price in Japanese yen. So as you can see, MUJI is the cheapest on the very left at 750 yen, and then Senka is the most expensive at 1,166 yen. Next is the volume. This one again is very straightforward. The 3 on the left were all 200 mils and then the 3 on the right were all 230 mils. Not a huge difference between all brands. Fragrance. So surprisingly, maybe most of these products were actually fragrance free. The 4 on the left are all fragrance free and no added fragrance, and then the 2 on the right, Biore and Senka, do have added fragrance. Biore describes it as a fruity fragrance and Senka a floral one. Next is texture. So in oil cleansers, there is not a huge difference between the textures of these products, although I have lined them up from the lightest to heaviest texture. The MUJI, Rosette and Biore have a very similar lightweight texture, whereas the Lachesca does tend to be a little bit on the thicker side. Now the one you've all been waiting for, ingredient. So I will be talking about the main oil ingredient in these products and not breaking down each ingredient because that will take forever. But from the left, Biore and Senka, their main ingredient is both mineral oil. Lachesca uses mineral and coconut oil. Hadalabo uses olive as the main oil ingredient. Rosette uses rice germ oil, and then MUJI has a blend of olive, jojoba and sunflower seed oil. Eyelash extensions. So this may be not so relevant to a lot of you, and it's not actually that relevant for me because I do not use eyelash extensions, but I thought I would mention that the 2 on the left, Lachesca and Senka, do state that you can use these cleansers even with eyelash extensions, and then the 4 on the right don't actually say anything. They could be used for eyelash extensions, but I did not research further and they do not state that you can. Cleansing power. So from here on out, all the rankings are based on my personal experience using these products. Obviously, cleansing power is one of the most important things about a cleanser. So from the left is the weakest cleansing power, and then to the right is the strongest. How well does it remove waterproof makeup? Once again, the very left is the weakest, and to the right gets stronger in regards to removing waterproof makeup. As you can see, there is not a huge difference to the previous ranking. The cleansing power when wet. Yes, most of the time oil cleansers are used on dry hands and face, although in Japan it is quite common to remove it in the bath cubicle, I guess you could say. So with a lot of Japanese cleansers, they keep this in mind and formulate the cleansers so you can use them even while your hands and face are wet. The Hadalabo one is the only one that states you cannot use it when everything is wet, whereas all the other 5, the brands do state that you can use it with your hands and face being wet and still achieve a very good cleanse. Last thing, irritation. So this is just a personal experience. I felt like the 2 on the left, the Senka and the Lachesca, irritated my eyes while I was using it, which obviously is not a good sign, I guess. They are all intended to be able to be used for eye makeup as well, and the remainder 4 on the right did not irritate my eyes when using them.
Alrighty, so now that we have compared pretty much everything we can possibly compare between these cleansers, I am going to give my review and ranking of which one I think is the worst and then which one I think is the best, and from where I would actually recommend for you guys to try out yourselves. So in 6th place, I feel like this isn't really a surprise looking at everything, is the Lachesca oil cleansing. So I feel like Lachesca is probably a brand that not many of you guys may have known already, but it is a sub brand of Corset and Softimor, which is quite common in like skincare products. So I'll first go into what the brand claims this cleanser does. So it's supposed to be a deep cleanse for pores specifically and removing heavy makeup. It's supposed to be okay with waterproof makeup, with your hands and face wet. It's okay for lash extensions. It is also fragrance, paraben, alcohol and silicone free, which is nice. And then it has artichoke and peppermint extract to moisture, which I've never really heard those ingredients to moisture before, but it does include those ingredients. And then it also does have malic and citric acid as an AHA to help exfoliate. My biggest thing of why I chose this last is that it doesn't actually do what the brand claims. I feel like it does not remove makeup very well, not even like normal makeup, let alone waterproof. The texture is very kind of thick and gluggy and kind of hard to work with. I think it's supposed to be part of the selling point because it's like torori pitari, which means it's like a nice thick like texture, but I feel like it does not work in their favor. It just doesn't really feel nice on the skin, in your hands, or when you're using it. I am just not a huge fan of it. And it also does tend to irritate my eyes. They say it's good for eyelash extensions and eye makeup remover and everything, so naturally you would use it on your eyes, but it just stings them. I don't tend to have sensitive eyes or skin, but this is just like a no-no. It doesn't want to go near there. So unfortunately this one is 6th and I pretty much don't recommend for anyone to try it out. So next in number 5 is actually the Senka All Clear Oil, which I feel like some of you may be surprised because I usually really do like products from Senka, but I did not like this oil cleanser. So the selling point that the brand claims for this product is that it's supposed to be all about clear skin. It helps to remove blackheads, removes the excess waste and sebum and all that gross stuff on your skin. It uses rice germ oil to easily remove waterproof makeup, but the rice germ oil is quite far down on the ingredients list. The main oil ingredient and number 1 ingredient is mineral oil, so I would say the percentage of rice germ oil is actually quite low, so I don't know how effective that would be in removing waterproof makeup per se. And then it does have silk essence and hyaluronic acid to moisturize and hydrate. Again, it's kind of the same sort of reason as the Lachesca one for me, but it essentially just doesn't really do what it claims. It's supposed to remove waterproof, it's supposed to work well with wet hands and face. If it was like light face makeup, it was okay, but if I tried to use it on my eyes with like wet hands, it would again just glug up, get thick, and wouldn't really work to remove anything, more so just like rubbing a glug all over my face. So I just did not like that, even though it's supposed to be like remove everything. It's just like, no, it does not do that. And again, this one is another one that irritated my eyes quite a bit. Like I have used a decent amount and I will finish it off obviously, but it just doesn't really do what it's supposed to do and what the brand claims it is supposed to do. Number 4 for me is the Hadalabo Gokujyun Oil Cleansing. Now obviously this is the old packaging and they have renewed it, but it is essentially the same product. So the selling point of this by Hadalabo is that it uses olive oil as the main ingredient, so it's a bit more gentle on your skin. It also does have hyaluronic acid, as all of their Gokujyun products do, to hydrate. It is also fragrance, mineral oil and alcohol free. So this definitely does the job. It only has 11 ingredients, which is actually the lowest out of all of the products I'm introducing today. So it uses very little ingredients, hence being gentle on the skin and using a natural oil to be the main ingredient. The only con of this product for me is that you can't use it with wet hands and face, which I know is probably not a problem for most people because you do usually use an oil cleanser on dry skin. But as I said earlier, in Japan it is quite common to remove your makeup, say in the bath and that. And really, if it does touch water, it does lose its effectiveness to remove makeup. It just goes kind of milky and the oil kind of just disappears. But besides that, I really do like it. Affordable price, and it is Hadalabo, which is one of my favorite brands. Honestly, from here on out, like from fourth to first, I would recommend all of them. It's just kind of like a slight difference in how I would rank them. And in third place, kind of random, but the Rosette Rice Release Cleansing Oil. So this is actually kind of newer, like not so new anymore. It came out a few years ago. Rosette is actually a brand that has been around for ages, and they're really famous for their face washes, which I used to use in high school. I'm pretty sure every girl in Japan used to use in high school. So obviously the main selling point of this from the brand is that it uses a lot of rice-based ingredients, hence it is called Rice Release. So it uses it in many forms. It uses the rice germ oil to be the actual main cleansing ingredient. It also uses fermented rice extract to help with texture and brighten, and also hydrolyzed rice extract to moisturize. So the texture is more lightweight compared to the Hadalabo, and that's probably why I like it. And you can use it even if your hands and face is wet, which I really do like. And I just really like the texture. It's very gentle on the skin, and for being like a gentle product, it actually removes very well. So that's why it is third for me. Number 2 ranking in is the Biore Perfect Oil. I've talked about this so many times on my channel and for a long time. So the big, huge number 1 selling point of this product is that you can use it with your hands and face being wet. I guess it's just like a prerequisite for Japanese oil cleansers. I know a lot of people won't need that, but that is the main selling point of this one. So this really is the perfect texture for me for an oil cleanser. It is definitely not too thick, not too thin. It does not irritate my eyes, and honestly it is my number 1 most repurchased cleanser in my lifetime. I have probably at least bought 10 or more bottles, like over obviously a long period of time, but I have repurchased this the most out of any cleanser that I've ever owned. So the biggest con per se of this product is that it is mineral oil based. That is the main ingredient that helps remove the makeup, and I know a lot of people probably won't be happy about that or don't want to use it for that reason, which is totally fine. I have never been against mineral oil. I know it has a lot of kind of negative press on it because it has been associated with petroleum and being harmful to people and their skin, but it has been shown that the level of mineral oil used in cosmetics is very pure, and it is a very safe grade oil to be used, and it's actually one of the more non-sensitizing ingredients, and that's why it is used so often in cosmetics. That's why I'm like, I don't have anything against it. If a product works for me and it has mineral oil, it does not irritate my skin. It's not going to be like the number 1 thing where I look at it and be like, I can't use it. Although these days I have been trying to find products that don't have as much mineral oil, but this product just works so freaking well. It will remove any form of makeup. It is probably the most powerful oil cleanser that I've got. So it's amazing when I have really heavy makeup, like waterproof eye makeup. It will remove everything. So it's not the cleanser I actually opt to use every day now. Most days I don't actually wear heavy makeup or waterproof makeup, so I won't go for this, but there's some days that I do. This is the number 1 thing that will get rid of it. And since it is so powerful, I don't actually have to have it on my skin for a long time, so I like it for that reason as well. Number 1, I mean, you kind of know what it is already, but drum roll please. My number 1 favorite Japanese drugstore oil cleanser is the MUJI Mild Oil Cleansing. So I do have to note that it is the mild one, not the regular one. The regular one has a bit more of like a yellow color and a thicker texture, although this is the mild version. So honestly, it doesn't really have a big selling point. I went on the site and looked at it, and it doesn't really have like a statement like, this cleanser is amazing for this. It just says it removes makeup, includes ingredients like lipidura, apricot, and peach leaf extract, as well as hyaluronic acid, and that's about it. That's all they say. This does have amazing cleansing power, and I never expected it from a MUJI product, I guess, because the whole thing is supposed to be more like gentle and they don't use like harsh or like strong ingredients, but it removes so well. It works perfectly fine if your hands and face are wet, so I can use this in the shower and it removes everything fine. It removes waterproof. Basically it has the like almost the same cleansing power as the Biore. I will say Biore is still a little bit stronger, although like As I said, there's not that many days that I need like a super strong cleanser. But the pros over the Biore one is the ingredients. This one does not use mineral oil. It uses natural oils like olive, jojoba, and sunflower seed oil. I know I said I'm not against mineral oil, and I'm not. It's just that mineral oil doesn't necessarily have skincare benefits to it per se than moisturize. So obviously these natural oils, especially like jojoba, which is one of my favorite oils, is going to have a bit more of a benefit to your skin, and that is the reason why I like this over the Biore one. It is also fragrance, colorant, and alcohol free, and it is the cheapest out of all of the cleansers that I mentioned. So to be the most effective, the best ingredients, and the cheapest, like, I'm pretty sure that just puts it out there that it is going to be number one. It is only 750 yen in Japan, which is cheaper than most drugstore oil cleansers, and also only 11.95 in Australia. I know it's going to change per country like in America and stuff, but in Australia it is only 11.95, which is definitely along the lower end of oil cleansers, especially if you compare it to things in like Sephora and things like that. This has definitely become my now number one from Japan. I just think it's, I don't know, it's just... So if you can get your hands on this, definitely give it a go. But anything from 4th and above, I will recommend. I love all of them. And I know it will depend on the country that you live in if you can get your hands on each product. Especially MUJI, they don't really sell through a third party. It's usually just their store or their online store. So maybe one of the other ones will work out better for you since you can get your hands on it. But I will leave links to all of them, hopefully if I can find them, in the description so you can try them out as well. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if there is any other Japanese oil cleansers that I have never mentioned that you really like or you tried out, and I'm sure other people want to know about it, so please leave it in a comment below, and I'll go see you guys up. I was so close. I thought I was going so smooth. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.